is an enormous toxic waste dump on the king's land. No, not that one. Right next to a school. And thank God it is this one. The king's estate tried to sell this contaminated land to Wigan Council for the full market price for profit. Which would be very reasonable given the cost of liver crisis. I mean, foie gras is through the roof. But the king got that land for free. And despite the fact that he's very happy to make profit out of it, our environmentalist king is unwilling to pay for the cleanup. Charlie boy, what are you doing? Normally, if somebody dumps illegal waste on your land, you, the landowner, are responsible to pay for the cost of cleanup. That applies to everyone, except, the king argues, him. Why? Don't worry, it is for a perfectly legitimate reason. Ancient medieval feudal laws. Escheat is one of the last relics of ancient feudal law. In the UK, no land can be without an owner. You've got to own land. If someone dies without a will, who gets the land? The crown. Why? All land in England is ultimately owned by the crown. Because in 1066, William the Conqueror invaded England and told everybody, it's mine now. For anyone else to own it, at some point in history, the crown will have granted that land to a feudal tenant-in-chief, usually some duke or cousin who did a lot of murdering for him. If that granted interest comes to an end, it would escheat or revert to the crown. But the crown nowadays means the state. So why does the king privately own this dump? The Duchy of Lancaster. The Duchy of Lancaster is an enormous area of land in the northwest of England, worth about £740 million. Originally dating from the 13th century, when Henry III seized lands after putting down a revolt trying to limit the powers of the king, something we would do later anyway. In 1760, the king could no longer afford to pay for the bits of government he was supposed to, so he agreed to surrender the crown lands to the government in exchange for a very large annual sum. But he was allowed to keep the Duchy of Lancaster and the Duchy of Cornwall. What this combination now means is that if land within the duchy is left without an owner, it doesn't contribute to the public purse, it instead is eschatted to the Duchy of Lancaster and becomes the king's private property. So when Wigan Council asked the king to clear up the stink, his lawyer said he didn't have to. They argued because he doesn't decide whether or not he gets the land, it just sort of seeps down to him like bin juice, the king doesn't take on any of the liabilities of the land. If this is true, he is the only person in the country that those legal land responsibilities would not apply to. If it was the state's land, the state would have to clear up, which could be a good argument, except that they were very happy to profit from it and sell it to Wigan Council at full cost. So he takes all the benefits of that legal windfall and none of the responsibilities. He's having his cake and not even letting them eat cake. Why should he be free from the liabilities when any profit from a potential sale wouldn't even go to the public purse? It could make you question whether he should own the Duchy of Lancaster at all. It's not as if historically everybody's agreed that the royal should get to keep it. There were bills in Parliament and debates in 1830 and 1837 and 1901 and 1936 and 1971 that actually it should belong to the state. Please let him have it. There's another question. Why wouldn't the school want a rat army? No. Why hasn't the king just paid to clean it up? Charles is a very big environmentalist. It's his land. He could just do it himself. And that waste is still there, ruining people's lives. The reason is that the king must remain neutral. It would be getting involved in politics for him to follow up on any of his values. He is constitutionally required to remain a hypocrite. So the multi-million-pound bill is going to be paid by you, the taxpayer. Goody!